Imagine you can travel not only through space, but through time. In fact, we do this every day when we study history, but we rarely pay attention to the practical philosophy of the past, to the wisdom, the skills, and the social codes that shape people's daily lives before technology took over as the mediator. We are used to thinking of the 19th century Victorian Britain as an era of corsets and steam engines. But what if the most complex machine was not the locomotive, but social interaction itself? Today, we will uncover 3 seemingly archaic habits of Victorian social life. They seem strange or ridiculous, but upon closer inspection, each was a sophisticated, albeit strict, practical system that solved problems still relevant to us today. The problem of attention, the problem of communication, and the problem of grief. Let's delve into lost practicality. In our digital world, where new acquaintances are simply an exchange of links or likes, we have forgotten the art of the visit. In Victorian Britain, to establish a social connection, you had to perform a complex, almost military ritual known as the formal visit or morning call, and its heart was the calling card. It was not just a piece of paper, it was social currency, a pass, and most importantly, an attention filter. If you as a woman wanted to meet a new neighbor, you couldn't just message or call her. You had to physically arrive at the specified time on her reception days. You didn't enter. You handed your calling card to the footman or maid. And here the practice began. If you left the card with its corner bent, it meant you called personally. If you bent 2 corners, you were saying goodbye. If you bent the card in the middle, it was personal condolence. The mistress of the house, having received the card, made a decision. If she returned your card, it was a polite but final rejection of the acquaintance. Social rejection. If she accepted the card, you moved on to the next stage of the social game. If she scheduled a visit, she made an investment in you. What have we lost? We have lost the intentionality of the connection. The calling card forced a person to invest time, transport, and physical presence just to ask for an acquaintance. This ensured that every contact was expensive and valuable. Today, our social connections are cheap. We instantly add hundreds of people, but rarely give them genuine attention. Victorians, thanks to this archaic habit, were forced to be practically discerning in their social circle, valuing those to whom they allowed their precious time. 19th century society was a society of restraint. Public expression of emotions, especially romantic or critical, was strictly forbidden. This created a practical problem: how to convey a complex thought or desire without speaking a single word. The answer was mastering the language of things, a secret code that turned ordinary objects into tools of sophisticated communication. Take, for example, the fan. In the hands of a Victorian lady, the fan became a real radio transmitter, drawing the fan across the cheek. "I love you." Fanning slowly. "I am married, not interested." Abruptly closing the fan. "I hate you." Or floral etiquette, Floriography, which turned a bouquet into a detailed letter. A forget-me-not meant fidelity, but if you added a sprig of fern to it, it could change the meaning to, "I can be a secret mistress if you keep silent." What have we lost here? We have lost nuance and mastery of observation. In our world, where emotions are expressed through caps lock, emojis, and GIFs, we have lost the skill of reading context and subtle signals. The Victorian language of things forced people to be practical psychologists and sophisticated encryptors. They developed a keen eye for detail, how a glove is held, how a train is positioned, which floral pattern is chosen. This was a practice that made people deeply engaged in the moment, completely focused on what wasn't said. And how many important things do we miss today looking at our phones because we think only direct text matters? Death is a universal loss, but Victorian Britain turned grief into a clearly structured, obligatory social institution. This is perhaps the most archaic habit, but it contains surprising practical wisdom. Today, when we lose someone, society expects us to process it quickly, take a few days off, and return to normal. Victorians knew this was impossible. They created the architecture of grief, strict rules that gave the bereaved person structured time for the process. For a widow, there were clearly defined phases. 1. Deep mourning, approximately 1 year and 1 day. The woman wore exclusively black clothing made of mat crepe. She was socially invisible and freed from almost all social obligations. 2. Moderate mourning, 9 months. Allowed to add less matte materials, removing the harsh crepe. 3. Half mourning, 3 to 6 months. Gray, lavender, white colors, and jewelry appeared. The practicality of this system lay in 2 things. First, it provided public recognition of the trauma. Everyone on the street knew what you were going through, and this required respect and patience, freeing you from the need to pretend. Second, it provided a psychological timeline. Instead of being thrown into a boundless ocean of loss, people had visual stages that helped them slowly but systematically return to life, adapting their clothing and social activity. This was social encouragement for gradual recovery. We, however, have lost this public space for slow, socially supported grief, replacing it with lonely, accelerated processing. The Victorian era often seems to us like a time of excessive superstitions and awkward etiquette. But as we have seen, deep practical wisdom was hidden behind this archaism. They forced themselves to be intentional in communication, to develop nuance and observational skill, and to provide structure to even the deepest emotional experiences. We will not bring back fans and calling cards, but we can bring back their philosophy. Perhaps it is worth asking ourselves, what is my calling card today? How attentive am I to the invisible language around me? And do I give myself and others enough time to simply be human? The past is not gone. It is waiting to be practical again. Thank you for being with us on Lost Practical. See you next time.